Plaintiff Shanna Campbell says the defendant is her sister, but they never spent a lot of time together because the defendant had 2 children when she was a teenager and another child last year. Shanna allowed the defendant and her boyfriend to put a bill in their name, but they failed to pay, so she's suing. Defendants LaRhonda McMillan and her boyfriend Terrence Burrows say LaRhonda took care of Shanna's baby while Shanna was in jail. But once she was released, she wouldn't let anyone in the family near the baby. Terrence claims they were never shown a bill, so that's why they failed to pay.
Start with you.
LaRhonda is my sister. We never had a relationship. She lived with my mom and I lived with my dad, so we wasn't raised together. LaRhonda never had a childhood. She got pregnant at 15. She had a baby at 18. She had a baby last year. So we never could spend time together because it was always money issues. It was always babysitting. It was something always getting in the way from us ever doing anything together. LaRhonda is a compulsive liar. You can ask that yourself. She admit to it. She's a drama queen.
You're a compulsive liar, man.
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
That's not true.
But you told me she said.
She admits to it before.
So you're the liar.
There's a compulsive liar. You can ask that yourself. She admit to it. She's a drama queen.
You're a compulsive liar, man.
No.
Go ahead.
That's not true.
But you told me she said.
She admits to it before.
So you're the liar.
Plaintiff Shanna Campbell is suing her sister, who claims Shanna went to jail after she assaulted her ex.
All right, go ahead.
Terrence is her kid's father. I don't know him very well. He got a lot of feminine to him. Facebook is his diary. He be on Facebook like, "Dear Diary, I ate breakfast this morning," or it just goes on and on. He brags a lot on Facebook.
Why you say he has a lot of femininity?
Because he acts like a female. He argues.
For a man to argue, it makes him feminine?
Well, a female, yes.
For him to argue with a female,
yeah, he like sits there and goes on and on about it. He sits there and argues and goes on and on, like he carries it on like a female would. Okay. A real man would stop arguing, you know, and cut it off, walk away.
You got a real man?
Good question.
At least she got a man. Move on.
I got one.
Move on. Is he real? Why you hesitate to say whether he was a real one? Maybe he's feminine. I said, you got a real man? Now that you admit you got one, then that means you have a man who's not a real man. So he's feminine. Go ahead. You and your feminine real man. Anything else you want to say about him? I got your back.
So, Your Honor, he brags a lot.
I heard that.
They just bought at least a 2012 car and lost their house, and now they live in their grandmother's attic. I say that because he's spending money, but he can't pay me what he owed me.
Okay, and that's what you're suing about.
Correct.
And let me get some background from you all before we get into the details of the lawsuit.
I feel as though, you know, that's my little sister. Never had an issue with her. We did not grow up together.
That's a lie.
Never grew up together. She grew up with her father. I did grow up with my mom. Yes, I did have a baby at 16 years old. Been taking care of my kids ever since I had them, all 3 of them. Well taken care of. I feel as though we're here today because a situation that happened a couple months back with Shanna and her ex. She got into a situation and she wound up going to jail.
What type of situation with her ex?
A domestic dispute.
He jumped on her?
She jumped on him.
Oh, okay.
She called me to come and get her baby prior to her going to jail. Mm-hmm. The next day she was released. She came to my house, got the baby. We were on good terms. Everything was fine. She left my house. We were fine. Later on that night, I got a text message from Shanna stating that me, my mom, or nobody else in the family will ever see her child again.
That's a lie.
So.
Why?
I guess because she felt as though we were on her baby father's side, which I never conversated with her baby father. Like, not at all. Like, he's not, I don't even know him. That's the only reason why I think I'm here. As far as the lawsuit between her and Terrence, I had no idea.
Let me allow him to talk about it.
Before the situation, me and Shanna were cool. We had a talking relationship. I feel I'm being thrown under this because of what they got going on with their family, because this bill is 4 years old.
Okay, let me allow her to tell me about the bill.
Your Honor, 2008, LaRonda and Terry came to me and asked me to put their electricity in my name. I agreed to it because they had 2 young kids at the time. In July of 2009, I went to their house and there was a cord running from their house in a neighbor house. So I went to RG&E and they had a bill in my name for $1,682.54.
Without your approval?
No, I approved for it. He was supposed to pay the bill. He never paid it, so they had an unpaid bill in my name.
Okay. Did you ask him about it?
Right, and he agreed to pay for it. What LaRonda taxes also was going to be, included in that.
Her taxes.
Correct. So, in 2010, I moved into my first apartment. I needed RG&E, so the bill that they had, I couldn't get it. So Terry had to make a down payment of $253. So he made a down payment of $253. I got every payment he made right here.
Let's see it,
From
please.
$253, he made a payment altogether for $631, leaving the balance at $1,052.
All right. And your emotional distress is for what?
I can't get an apartment without RG&E. I went to apply for an apartment because I just had my baby. I need a bigger apartment, and they denied me because electricity
The man
bill.
you jump on can't give you any money to pay
That's
off
not
this
true.
bill?
I don't fight, man.
Plaintiff Shanna Campbell is suing her sister, who claims Shanna went to jail after she assaulted her ex.
All right, let's hear from you, sir, about this bill.
Like she said, I put down the down payment for her to move in her apartment, and I was making the payments. So she moved out of her apartment. That's why the payments stopped being made.
And had the bill been caught up?
No.
Okay, so you owed. I don't know what you're talking about, what she did. Let's talk about what you did.
Yeah, I admit that, yes.
So have you paid all that you owe?
No.
Okay, and she says you owe $1,052.
Yes, correct.
All right.
Which, when she called me a month ago about this,
Never called him.
we or text message, whatever,
Facebook,
like
yeah.
you like to say, Facebook. We just had a disagreement on the amount.
Right.
All she had to do was show me proof that I owed that, and she knows she would have got paid.
When is the last time you paid her anything?
2
I
years
wasn't
ago.
paying her. I was paying it directly to.
When is the
years
last
ago,
time
yeah.
you did?
2 years ago.
Okay, so what you're talking about now doesn't really apply. It has nothing to do with it. It sounds like a new excuse. Your latest excuse is, she wouldn't show me the bill. You haven't paid a dime in 2 years. So this excuse about the reason you didn't pay is because you haven't seen the bill. You knew you owe. Remember, you were paying directly to the place.
Right.
They'll give you the bill. Boom, you're paying me directly? Okay. Yeah, can I see how much I owe?
Your Honor, I have
Yeah, they don't
Facebook
give-
messages.
You want to speak?
That's what I was talking about, Your Honor.
Ma'am.
I'm sorry.
You've won. He said he owes.
That's why she's here.
Hold on. What else you want to tell me?
No, that's why my witness is here, because in the Facebook messages, I told him when I was going to take him to court, he said he was going to lie that he lived in our first country. So that's the only
Okay,
reason
but
why
he
she's
didn't.
here.
He agreed.
Did I lie?
But let's see if he wants to change his testimony. Sir, do you agree that you owe
Yes, sir, I
$1,052,
do,
or is
yes.
there something different? All right.
As long as that
because
paper
had
says that, that's
you
normal.
disagreed, she would have had to go into proving. She had won the case,
Yeah.
but since she likes to talk and interrupt me, Your Honor, I was going to let her go ahead. But thank goodness you're honest, because had you not been, she would not have gotten this judgment, because she has not proven it to me independently that you did not pay. You could have told me you paid her cash, and she said, no, you didn't. You said, yes, you did. And then I'd have said, well, your character here today that you displayed causes trouble to your credibility. So therefore, I'm going to believe him over you. So next time, don't interrupt the judge when it appears you won. All right, you've won $1,052. Not going to grant you any emotional distress. Have a good day.
You out of all people know.
She's a drama
before
queen.
all
She's
of
a
this
liar.
happened, I was the one that.
You was what?
Shanna, stop playing
You was
yourself.
what? You was a
'Cause
liar.
ridiculous.
You was
really
a liar.
ridiculous and
You was a
childish.
liar.
Like,
I'm
I could care
childish,
less.
but I did
have
them
a
this
baby
favor.
of my own. I don't care for your baby, but it's just
She don't
hurting
have
my mom.
no GED.
That's
She never graduated high
cares?
school. She has nothing going
And
for
what do you
herself.
have?
They live.
Everest Institute
I have
that you were
associate's
not
degree.
doing nothing where you work at
They live in
Sam's.
an attic.
You
You work
should've
at
told
Sam's.
them.
They got evicted
I make
because
more
they
money
can't
than
pay
you
their
right
bills.
now. I make $11
They live in
an
an
hour.
attic.
What do you make?
They live in an attic.
Taking care of my sick
75
grandmother.
In an attic.